As usual, check the description box for the full version of this fight. But man, what a fight it was. Akira Yaegashi defending his IBF World Light Flyweight title against Martin Tecuapetla of Mexico. And I mean, just it was an incredible fight. Yaegashi started off a little bit slow, looking a little bit sluggish. Martin Tecuapetla had very good technique, was able to land his shots more cleanly, more effectively early on with the superior technique. Yagashi took a few rounds to really get warm. It seemed probably by about the third into the fourth round is where he started to, use his usual ambush kind of in and out style and start to outpace Tekaputla. But as he started to tire out from doing that so much because he had to do that in order to land and keep from getting hit by Tekaputla, he eventually tired himself out, and it became once again a bit more of like an inside to mid range style trade-off between the two, leading into an eighth round, which is probably one of the best rounds of this fight. The eighth round, and I'll get to the others too in just a second. The eighth round and the 12th round, probably like two round of the year candidates, and this fight of the year candidate. The two of them were just trading huge right hands off of each other. Time them really nicely too. Time them really nicely. The thing is, Yagashi, he keeps his hands low, a little bit like a Yorikis Gamboa. And when you keep your hands so low, you need to make sure that you're well out of range. Otherwise, a fighter like Tekaputla was able to load up and hit him with clean right hands from a distance, and just he was able to shoot him right down the pipe and land him flush. Landed a number of them against Yagashi. When Yagashi was able to make his hand speed matter a bit more on the inside, he was able to take advantage of that and start making Tekaputla swing a little bit wide because he wasn't able to shorten up his shots quite as easily as the shorter armed Yagashi was. Slightly shorter, but significantly shorter armed. But as it went into the championship rounds, I had it even, and then eventually, as the fight concluded, I had it even. The 12th round was just a back and forth slugfest. Both of them were trying to make a major impression. They both knew that the fight was close. As soon as the bell rang, after they were both throwing haymakers at each other, they both looked just completely exhausted, and they knew it was just a close fight. The judges wound up having it a split decision victory for Akira Yaegashi, 115 to 113, 116 to 113, and then the third judge had it 113 to 115 for Tekaputla. I had it a draw at the end of it, but very easily could see the fight going either way. I'm wondering if maybe Yagashi might have some trouble making the weight because he had recently talked about moving all the way up to 115 to try and win a world title in his fourth weight class. But that's not to take anything away from Tekaputla. He boxed a very good fight, a brilliant fight. His timing and control of the distance is what won him a lot of those rounds, and pretty much almost won him the title. And should Yagashi wind up vacating the IBF title for richer pastures at 115, I'm sure Tekaputla is probably one of the first fighters that would get a shot at the newly vacant title. But I mean, this was just an excellent fight between these two. Um, I mean, Yagashi had, let me see here. He had fought before he defeated Javier Mendoza to win this title that he has currently. He had fought at 112 and 115. So, I mean, even if he was to go up to 115, it's not like he hasn't fought there before, and it's entirely possible that just the constant yo-yoing in weight, the fact that he started at 105, jumped to 108, then to 112, and then 115 back down to 108, maybe doing something like funny to his body. It's one of those things where it pays to try to be close to weight all year round, and then also try to to cut in the proper way. And when you're talking about moving up, and especially if you're talking about moving up two weight classes like that, in all likelihood, you're probably doing something. Whether it's your eating habits, whether you're actually putting on muscle, and if you're putting on muscle, then cutting all the way back down to 108 when you had previously been fighting at 112 and 115 may not necessarily be the greatest thing for you in terms of actual performance, because it's almost like you're trying to do two things at one time. You're trying to put on muscle mass, but you're also trying to cut weight down to make something that may not necessarily be the most naturally healthy thing for your body to be at. But regardless, Yagashi pulled through like a champion should, And I'm not sure who he's gonna be trying to go after at 115. It seems like the most of the titleists at 115 kind of have their hands full right now, especially with the likely influx anyway of Roman Gonzalez and Juan Estrada. The WBC champion Carlos Cuadras has Sisakit for Sorong Visay out there. Koya Kono and Luis Concepcion are probably the two most open fighters that would have an availability. McJoe Arroyo has Joran Lacasse that he has the mandate against, and then Naoya Inoue has his mandated rematch with Omar Narvaez. That's contractual. So it's entirely possible Yaegashi may wind up either defending again at 108 or possibly just moving up to 112. You know, because pretty soon the WBC and the WBO titles will be vacated once Gonzalez and Estrada move up to 115. So Yaegashi may have an opening there. But should he stay out at 108, I mean, there's several fights that are out there for him. Ryo Miyazaki, in particular, is probably a very good fight. Excuse me, as is Christopher Rosales, who is Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez's cousin. Very, very good fighter. Very dangerous fighter, too. He's a tall, rangy boxer puncher. Very dangerous type of fighter for a fighter like Yaegashi. But, I mean, fights like that would be excellent. And then if Yaegashi vacates, a fight between Tecuapetla and either Miyazaki or Rosales would be excellent fights too. I mean, otherwise, Yaegashi, I mean, wherever he goes, he's always going to be a fun, entertaining, exciting fighter. If he was to move up to 112, a rematch with Kazuto Ioka would be an excellent fight. Or, you know, possibly even a clash with Zhou Shiming. Since Zhou Shiming, it looks like, is going to be making his U.S. debut in a couple months. And then is probably going to be going after the vacated WBO title once Estrada officially vacates. So like a Shiming versus Akira Yaegashi fight, I think would be just fireworks, fireworks. Very similar styles between those two. You know, although Shiming's a little bit more of a pot shotter, stick and move type quick guy, and Yaegashi's more of a combination, you know, punching quick guy. So I think it'd be an excellent fight though. That's probably the one fight above all these others that would probably be the most entertaining, except for maybe a Yaegashi and Ioka rematch. But regardless, props to Yaegashi and props to Tecuapetla, putting on one of the better fights this year. Definitely in the running as a Fight of the Year candidate. Probably up there with Ryuichi Taguchi and Juan Jose Landeta to a certain degree. Although Taguchi's dominance in the latter part, in probably like the latter quarter of that fight, may take it out of the running, in spite of the fact that it was just a brilliant technical display and, you know, technical warfare basically. But this fight was just a war all the way through, and especially from round 8 to round 12, it was just non-stop action. Great fight, and I hope you guys enjoy it.